Long-term effects of excessive drinking on blood pressure. In the long run, anyone who repeatedly drinks excessive amounts of alcohol can develop diagnosable alcoholism, now part of a larger condition called alcohol use disorder. One of the other known risks of chronic heavy drinking is hypertension. This fact holds true regardless of the presence or absence of other common risks for the condition, such as gender, racial, ethnic background, advancing age, habitual level of caffeine intake, level of involvement in smoking. Since alcohol consumption remains high in people affected by alcoholism, hypertension usually becomes the norm once it begins. All long-term heavy drinkers run the risks of developing a specific form of high blood pressure called portal hypertension. This condition occurs when pressure levels increase in a blood vessel called the portal vein, which channels blood to the liver from the gastrointestinal (GI) tract, as well as from the gallbladder, pancreas, and spleen. Portal hypertension does not produce any direct symptoms. However, its effects can lead to complications that include a distended abdomen, spleen enlargement, varicose veins in the upper GI tract, esophagus and stomach, potentially heavy bleeding from damaged varicose veins in the upper GI tract. The underlying cause of portal hypertension in most chronic heavy drinkers is an advanced form of liver disease called cirrhosis. This condition occurs when scar tissue begins to replace the liver's healthy cells. It typically appears after a decade or more of severe alcohol abuse. System-wide hypertension can also lead to a variety of severe and long-term health problems in anyone affected by alcoholism. Many of these problems appear in the cardiovascular system. For example, people with chronic high blood pressure have increased chances of experiencing a coronary artery blockage followed by a heart attack. They also have increased chances of experiencing heart failure, a condition that occurs when the heart can no longer pump with enough force to meet the body's requirements for oxygen-bearing blood. Other cardiovascular conditions linked to hypertension include aneurysms, i.e., bulging weak spots in the wall of an artery, ischemic stroke caused by blockages that interfere with the brain's blood supply, hemorrhagic stroke caused by ruptures in blood vessels that feed the brain, peripheral artery disease caused by blockages in the arteries that supply blood to the extremities, head or major organs, blindness or other vision problems triggered by bleeding or broken blood vessels in the eyes. Besides, high pressure levels in the blood vessels associated with the kidneys can lead to something called chronic kidney disease (CKD). Kidneys affected by CKD can no longer fulfill their task of cleansing toxins and excess fluids from the bloodstream. Over time, a worsening of this condition can lead to the onset of outright kidney failure. Can alcohol lower blood pressure? Over the years, numerous studies have shown that light to moderate alcohol consumption is linked to a reduced risk for heart disease. This fact raises the question of whether alcohol lowers blood pressure in at least some circumstances. The answer is, not to any reliable degree. Researchers report that any potential protective benefit from light or moderate drinking likely comes from reduced levels of circulating, bad cholesterol, not blood pressure-related changes. Also, for many people, alcohol may not play a significant role at all in lowering the odds of heart disease. Instead, the benefit may come from other lifestyle factors such as dietary alterations and increased involvement in exercise. Recap: how does alcohol affect blood pressure? Can alcohol cause high blood pressure? The answer to this question is clearly yes. Heavy drinking can lead to an average pressure increase of 5 to 10 millimeters of mercury. An increase of this size can make all the difference between regular readings and the onset of hypertension. While hypertension is a temporary issue for occasional binge drinkers, it can turn into an ongoing health threat for recurrent alcohol bingers, as well as anyone suffering from the widespread effects of alcoholism. It's important to note that heavy drinkers who quit cold turkey rather than seeking help from qualified professionals can increase their short-term hypertension risks. That's true because abrupt discontinuation of drinking in an addicted person can lead to severe, temporary spikes in the amount of systolic and diastolic force exerted on the arteries. Another warning focuses on the connection between blood pressure meds and alcohol. Evidence shows that these medications may not provide substantial protective benefits for people affected by alcoholism.